Hey everyone, this is Jacqui Cooper with J. Cooper Travels, and I want to welcome everyone back for listening to all the great episodes this year. For those that might not be familiar with J. Cooper Travels, the talk show brings inspirational stories from all parts of the world. And today I have a special guest. Angie Marie has been on before. She has been talking to us on a variety of topics in 2020. And today we're going to be talking about a special passion project of hers. It's called the Unspoken Kings Project. How are you doing today? Nice
I'm
to have you
doing
back on.
well. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, so tell us a little, for those that might not know about you, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started with your project.
Okay. So full time, for those who don't know, full time, I am an educator. I'm a reading specialist in Maryland. And but one thing that I do on a part-time basis is I am a photographer. I have my own business called Moments by Angie Marie. I have been photographing since I was a little girl. And in 2015, I decided to turn my passion into a business. And most recently, I began a project which is kind of a spinoff from a former project, but a much needed and necessary project at the same time called the Unspoken Kings Project. And it's a personal project of mine that I'm really hoping and praying blesses and encourages a lot of people this year. It is focused on Black men of all ages, all different background types. And basically, they're being provided with a platform to share their story. Um, and I'm photographing them. So you are going to see many different stories, see and read many different stories. I'm helping them to tell their stories through their pictures.
So I love the fact that you're both having them be photographed to show their
Mhm.
stories. Are they writing or are you writing?
They are writing. They are writing. I actually have one that will be posting very soon. My first one. I've done two shoots so far.
Hmm.
So I have more that are scheduled. But they are writing. The most that I do is the educator in me has to check for any kind of grammatical errors, right? But that's it. I do not touch your story. Your story is your story. All that is done is, I organize it and onto the blog along with several images from your shoot.
So for those that might not know how a podcast or YouTube works, there will be contact information in the block below, but why don't you share how they can go ahead and read more about the stories that will be featured? How can they reach out to you?
Sure. There's a couple of ways you can reach out to me. So you can go to my website, which is momentsbyangemarie.net, and you can click on the tab that says the Unspoken Kings Project, and you can begin reading my inaugural post that's already posted up there. Another way to contact me is by email, momentsbyangemarie@gmail.com, or via Instagram. I have an Instagram page called Moments by Angie Marie, or even on Facebook.
So are you giving guidance as to what should be in the stories, or how do
Hmm.
they decide what, because a lot of times, our personal journeys, we've had a lot of experiences. So how are you
Right.
guiding them as to what to highlight in the project?
So I give them question starters. That's the educator in us. That part will never leave me. Sorry, guys. But I do give question starters just to get their thoughts going. And I tell each participant, you are not limited to these questions. They're simply to get your thoughts going. How much information or how many details they decide to share is left up to them and their discretion about that, and their comfort level as well. Um, and that it doesn't have to be a novel, usually like a 1 to 2 pager, and that is sufficient.
So are you looking for more people to feature and highlight?
Yes, yes, it is my goal to be able to highlight men all of 2021. My goal with this is to really start to overshadow, if you will, the negativity portrayed about Black men with a lot of positivity because they need it. They've been torn down so much. We're always targeted. And so they need that encouragement and a time to be uplifted as well. And really, I want to start helping to shift some perspectives in that way
Yeah,
as
for
well.
sure.
Mhm.
Now for those who are listening, I do have a global audience. Are you looking
Mhm.
for individuals that are based in the United States, or who are you looking for in terms of your readership and also who you'd like to reach?
Right now, I am limiting it to the United States because of COVID. It's kind of more difficult for me to travel internationally at the moment, but I would not rule out an international trip in the future. Definitely would. I think that would be amazing. But for now, we're going to keep this domestic.
Understood, understood. So I know that you did something similar though in the
Mhm.
past for women.
Yes.
And so if people want to read or revisit some of the stories shared there, are they able to
Mhm.
do that?
Yes, they are. So the project that this spun from is the Phenomenal Woman Project, and I
Mhm.
did that about 3 years ago. No, actually about four, about 4 years ago, and I featured different ladies sharing their walks of life. And so you can find that on my website, momentsbyangieMarie.net. And it's actually right next to the tab of the Unspoken Kings Project. If you click on Phenomenal Woman Project, you can read some of those stories.
That's awesome. So I know that you had mentioned that you've already have a few that you're about to share out.
Mhm.
Do you want to give us any teasers or highlights as to those that are coming, that you're going to share soon?
I will say that get your tissues. Get your tissues. They're a little bit of a tearjerker in a good way. Um, and be prepared to see like their stories come through their pictures as well. Um, I commend these participants because they are stepping out of their comfort zone and doing something that they've never done before. But I really believe that it's going to be healing for them as well.
Hmm. You know what? I can see how your projects could touch the heart of someone who's a filmmaker
Mhm.
and who could, I know you're a visual storyteller,
Mhm.
and how these stories could also be broadcast in different ways as well. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to read and also to see all the various uh, episodes and stories that you're and projects that you're creating because you're a phenomenal woman yourself. And
Thank
so I want to
you.
thank you for being on. Share again how individuals can reach out to you so that way if they want to either read or be part of this, they can.
Okay, so the fastest way is my website, momentsbyangieMarie.net. You can also email me at momentsbyangieMarie@gmail.com. You can also find and message me on Instagram, Moments by Angie Marie, or even on Facebook. I do have a Facebook page.
Yep. So for sure, for everyone who is listening to this today, definitely like and subscribe to Jacqui Cooper Travels, but also visit and like and subscribe to all the various pages and platforms that Angie Marie has mentioned, so that way you can stay up to date with everything that she's doing as well. And thank you so much for being on. I cannot wait to read the first episode and I'll have my hankies out so that way so
Yes.
that way I can enjoy and just, appreciate their stories because I think what you're doing is really
Yeah.
important.
Thank you. And thank you again for having me.
Anytime. Let's talk soon.
Okay.